What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. We are here to discuss Ultimate Girls Trip, Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2. Season 3, Episode 2. Child, my bad. So we started the episode off. The ladies are at breakfast. We see them getting their breakfast together and all that good stuff. Of course, Pepsi is making their every wish is his command. And they're going to the elephant park, right? He tells them they're going somewhere really nice. They got something exciting for them planned. And they go to the elephant park. They look like they had a good time. They started a mud fight until they realized that they were not flinging mud. And y'all can read between those lines. So the ladies are eating lunch. I guess they had a shower for them. And as they're eating lunch, they have the conversation about what are some of the challenges of Housewives. It's so obvious that production is like, here, ask this question. Here. Because like these questions are so, they just don't seem to flow. Like they just seem like they are very controlled. I don't know. But Marisol opened up a lot about her mother. She said her biggest challenge was that, her mother, because of her health problems, she could not have plastic surgery. And so she started getting the fillers, which ended up being botched. And I remember, I think I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of The Real Housewives of Miami when it first came on. But the one thing I did remember was Marisol's mom. And probably for the wrong reason, because I remembered her, the face, the fillers and everything. And she said that, she was very self-conscious about that, about having her mom on camera. She said her mom loved being on camera. Her mom loved being on the show, but she was very self-conscious about things that people would say about her mom because she actually used the word deformed. And I can understand that because her mom, I thought her mother was just one of those women that had so much plastic surgery that it got bad at a certain point. I didn't realize, because again, I didn't watch every episode, so I don't know what was explained. But she talked about that. Candace talked about, I think I told y'all this already. Candace talked about social media. And that's when Giselle was kind of like, girl, you do it to yourself. Like, you allow social media to kind of get in your head a little bit. But she was like, no, I can't let them trolls, them dusty trolls. And I'm like, there you go again. I can't let them dusty trolls, I got to respond. And like I think I said in my last review, Giselle does a good job of not responding. For as much as I don't rock with Giselle does a good job of letting y'all say whatever y'all gonna say about her. It goes right over her head. And I'm sure she sees it. She has teenage daughters who see it. She has friends who I'm sure tell her. And she tunes into what she wants to tune into. She responds to what she wants to respond to and she moves on. And although I think Candace is getting better, Candace is going to have to get to that point. If you're going to continue to stay in the public eye, even with her wanting to get into I'm not wanting to. She's gotten into acting and her music. People are going to always have an opinion. And it's not going to always be an opinion you like. And you really do have to do a better job of not responding. But I think she's getting better and I'm going to leave it at that. Portia talked about dealing with postpartum depression while filming. But she said that she allowed them to film. She's glad that they got her on camera. But that she really was going through, after she had her daughter and, things weren't going too well with her and Dennis, that she really was struggling and handling a lot of it on her own. Leah talked about the loss of her grandmother, and that's when I did. You know what? I must have got my notes. See, that's why I don't like watching more than one episode at a time, because I think I did tell y'all about Leah and her grandmother and the whole situation with filming and her feeling like nobody really supported her in production, not really supporting her, and her grandmother ultimately passing away, and her feeling like she was stuck doing the show instead of being with her grandmother. I think I did talk about that in the last review. Anyway, they get back to the house and they're resting up. They have a party that night, which is Candace's party. She tells everybody, look, we're going to party Atlanta style. Put your grills in. We're going to have a good time. Now, I'll be honest with you. I felt like from the beginning this wasn't going to be a good idea. I don't know. I just said, the minute Candace said, if you bought your grills, put them in. Which makes me feel like she told people to bring grills. But it seemed like the only person that ended up having grills were her and Giselle. But I still just was like, this is not going in the direction that I wanted to go in. Because I do not want to see Marisol in no grills. I don't want to see Leah in no grills. I don't want to see Heather, who I'm surprised did not have a pair of grills. Okay? Portia asked that man for some KFC. She asked Pepsi for some KFC. But you know what? Damn if he ain't show up with 2 buckets of chicken. KFC. He found KFC in Thailand. I ain't mad at you, Pepsi. I am not. Now, don't get me wrong. They have KFC all over the world. They have, McDonald's all over the world. Please don't nobody put it in my comments. They ain't got I know. I got it. All I'm saying is I thought it was funny that he went out and found the KFC and brought it back to Portia. And Portia sat in her bed and she was happy as a lark, okay? She was so happy she didn't know what to do with herself with that damn chicken. Now, I think her and Candace ate some of that chicken. And I ain't mad at them, okay? We see Whitney and Heather making up, which we'll see how long it lasts, but Heather felt like Whitney took her friendship away when Whitney was like, I'm taking a friendship break. And Whitney was like, it's just a break. It's just a break. I still think all of that is stupid. Like, break up, whatever. They have 2 very fundamental thoughts on this whole situation, and that's why I don't think that this makeup is going to last long, because Heather feels like Whitney sacrificed their friendship for the show. She feels like Whitney was creating moments and she sacrificed it for the show. She went a step further and said that she felt like Whitney was doing all that because her husband had lost his job and Whitney was sort of desperate to make it work, to keep her job on the show because she became the breadwinner. I don't think that's going to go over too well when Whitney sees that confessional. Well, she's already seen it. I don't think that's going to go over too well. On the flip side, Whitney feels like she genuinely was hurt by Heather, and she genuinely feels like Heather sacrificed their friendship for Jen Shaw, and she's dealing with this fame and this notoriety, and she doesn't know what to do with it. And so they both are dealing with their own opinions about why their friendship failed. And until they come to some resolution on that, I don't know how long the makeup, but they've made up for now. I wrote in my notes, made up, not really. So we get ready for Candace's party. We're in the bus. We're on our way there. Yada, yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah. We're having dinner. And first Candace, like I said, the only one in grills are her and Giselle from what I could tell. And then we, Candace is giving everybody names. And she said they're going to be Shady Names. So the first name she gave herself was Patti LaBelle. Then she gave Giselle the name Shanita Man, of course, being a little shady. She called Alexia Havana White. She called Marisol Cristobal. And Giselle was like, wait a minute. You said that all the names were going to be shady. Where's the like, at this point, I'm the only one with a shady name. Where's the shady names coming from? Like, I'm the only one with the shady name. And Candace was like, just wait. So they get to Heather and Whitney, and they call Whitney Snow Right and Heather Snow Wrong. Now, the Snow part could be a little offensive because they both white, but they are from Utah, so the Snow makes sense. Not really shady. Then she gets to Portia. No, she gets to Leia. Since Leia has converted to Judaism, she called her Judaism. Again, none of these names are shady except for she need a man. But then she gets to Portia, and she calls Portia, she took a man. And y'all know Portia wasn't here for that. So they end up having the conversation about how Portia met her man. Now, I would say this. We've heard this story ad nauseum, so I'm not going to sit here and relive it. Okay, we know that she wasn't really friends with Fallon. She brought Fallon on the show because that's what they do on these Housewives shows. And she said that when the two of them broke up, she said that she realized that this is the part that's new to me. Now, put it in the comments if this part of the story is new to you. Because I watched Portia's show. I don't watch everything Portia's on. But I watched her show when they explained their relationship. And Portia said something about he slid into her DMs. And he said that she slid into his DMs. So they couldn't even agree on who slid into whose DMs first, right? But then, come to find out that Portia was like, yeah, well, I realized, in the moment I didn't recognize him, but then I realized that I knew him already. Now, I had never heard that part of the story. So then she said, after she found out about their marriage breaking up, she sent him a message saying, praying for you, hope all is well. So you did slide into his DMs first, okay? Then he responded and was like, oh, I'm good. When I'm in Atlanta, I'd like to see you. And that's how it happened, okay? Look, Portia, at this point, it don't matter, child. Y'all married and y'all look happy. And if you like it, I love it. But let's just be clear. Y'all story, even 2 years later, the math still ain't mathing. But girl, again, I don't care. And of course, Candace was like, well, that ain't what the streets was saying. That ain't what the streets was saying. Well, girl, at this point, it don't even matter what the streets is saying, child. So then somehow we got onto Alexia and the story of her being with her husband being gay or bisexual. So Alexia starts telling the story, and Leia is like, oh my God, I've heard this before. Oh my God, this is so boring. Oh my God, I am so bored right now. Then she gonna tell them, can y'all take a shot or something so y'all can get drunk so y'all can be fun? Girl, what? So when all is said and done, that's how the episode ends with Leia. And Marisol was like, what are you talking about? This is a fascinating story. Why are you being rude? And Leia was like, I'm not being rude. She was like, well, you talking about this is a boring story. And Leia was like, I didn't say it was a boring story. Don't try to make a fight between me and Alexia. Don't try to make a fight between us. And Marisol was like, you absolutely said that this is a boring story. And of course, production played it back. Leia, you were being rude. Like you were being rude. You may have already heard this story and you may not care about the story. She was like, I just feel like Alexia is on a loop. Like she tells the same stories over and over again on a loop. Well, she told the story about her husband in the car, but again, somebody else brought it up. She didn't bring it up, you know? So anyway, that was the episode, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. I'll try to get y'all episode 3 tomorrow. Talk to y'all later. Peace.